headlines, Liberia's President Ellen Johnson is elected ECOWAS chairperson. Ghana marks World Environment Day with quiz competition involving senior high school. Seminar on how to save vultures from extinction takes place in Kuru. And South Sudan resumes talks with Sudan on thorny issues, including border and oil revenue. Hello, good evening. You're warmly welcome to the studios of GBC24 and GTV. This is News Hour. My name is Micheline Taka. We start off from Dakar, where Liberia's President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has been elected chairperson of ECOWAS. She takes over from the President of Senegal, Macky Sall. The ordinary summit of the sub-regional body held in Dakar, Senegal, was attended by heads of state, including Ghana's President John Mahama. Key issues discussed were regional security and integration.
Macky Sall ended his one-year tenure as ECOWAS chair. He was elected in Accra, Ghana last year. Taking over from him is the president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Ghana's leader John Dramani Mahama joined his colleagues in issues of providence affecting ECOWAS within the short to medium term. Former Beninois President Thomas Boni Yayi, a familiar face at ECOWAS meeting for the past decade, was absent this time, and in his place was the newly elected president of Benin, Patrice Talon. Boni Yayi left office a few weeks ago, having completed his full-year term in office. The political process in Benin was one of the highlights of the Dakar summit, extensively cited as testament to the route taken by constitutional democracy in West Africa. This year, a number of countries, including Ghana, will also hold political elections. Also of particular interest to ECOWAS leaders is the issue of regional integration. The second monetary zone, made up of the Anglophone countries, is yet to complete their process for full integration with their French counterparts. It is believed integration is the baseline for the launch of a common West African currency. The leaders also discussed security as they reviewed the protocol on free movement, seeking to seal off any possible loopholes which present opportunity for terrorists and other criminals. The UN Secretary General's representative in West Africa, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, read a part of the communique.
Ghana today joined the rest of the world to mark World Environment Day. This year, the day seeks to fight against illegal trade in wildlife and to ensure that the ecosystems are preserved.
The World Environment Day, instituted by the United Nations, is celebrated on the 5th of June every year. The day is set aside to create awareness about the need to conserve and protect the environment. Apart from pollution, there is an evidence that mankind is today consuming more natural resources than the planet can sustainably provide. The day seeks to alert the world to responsibly manage the planet's natural resources. In Ghana, the day was used to test the knowledge of students on environmental issues. The What Do You Know contest involves students from the Ashama and SHS, Our Lady of Mercy Senior High School, Olams, Tema Senior High, Chemo Senior High, and the Methodist Day Senior High School. After the three-round contest, Temihiro Darlington of Olams emerged winner. The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Mr. Mahama Ayariga, said overexploitation of natural resources, urbanization and wildfire continue to destroy the country's biodiversity, and therefore there is the need for stringent measures to protect especially our forests.
In order to join the race to green Ghana and protect wildlife, the nation has to promote proper forest management, especially at the community level, and avoid indiscriminate and unlawful clearing of forests and hunting of wildlife, and enhance fire prevention strategies.
The Chief Executive of the EPA, Mr. Daniel Mlalu, said it is worrying the rate at which human settlements are taking our forest reserves.
If you look at the rate of degradation, it is quite high, and economic activity is going on. We could do better than we're doing now. And it is the responsibility of each and every citizen, not only the government institutions, to protect the environment.
The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Nilaya Futeagbo, said there is a need for discipline and enforcement of the law to conserve the environment.
Vultures are natural scavengers which help to prevent the spread of diseases by improving environmental sanitation. But the alarming rate of which vultures in Ghana and Africa are getting extinct is worrying. To save the situation, the Department of Conservation, Biology and Entomology of the University of Cape Coast has organized a seminar on vultures conservation at the Hope Polytechnic.
Large carnivorous birds that are well noted for their scavenging nature. These birds are distributed widely around the world and can be found on every continent except Antarctica, Australia and the islands that surround it. Every type of vulture scavenges for their food rather than killing animals themselves. This makes them environmentally friendly. There are 23 vulture species in the world, 8 of which can be found in Ghana. The hooded vulture is the most common in Ghana. These birds are equipped with special digestive systems that contain special acids that dissolve anthrax, rabies, cholera and other bacterial normally found on carcasses. By consuming carcasses, vultures thus help prevent the spread of life-threatening diseases and bacteria. Despite their importance to man and the environment, vultures in Ghana and Africa are under the threat of extinction. This is what necessitated the seminar.
In the absence of vultures, there will be health and also financial consequences, because if you are sick, you can't go to work. You can also not be able to, you have to pay for extra healthcare delivery. So if they are there and there is a carcass, they will clear the environment which are safe from stench.
The Vulture Identification and Monitoring Project seeks to create awareness, especially among educational institutions in the country, about the need to protect and preserve vultures.
A 32 meters diameter redundant television antenna at Kuntun State near Nsawim in the eastern region has now been converted into a radio telescope. This will help the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute to study naturally occurring radio waves that are extremely weak by the time they reach Earth from space. The antenna became redundant because telecommunication companies are now using highly sophisticated equipment for their terrestrial platforms. This came to light at the 5th Space Science and Satellite Technology Application Workshop of the All Nations University College in Koforidua.
The All Nations University College Space Science and Satellite Technology Application Workshop has been an annual affair. It seeks to accomplish a process that will advance knowledge in space engineering to attract and empower people in a rewarding and inspiring environment that fosters creation and innovation. In line with this, it also helps up-and-coming scientists to research, design, develop, and construct high-performance educational miniature satellites. As part of its objectives, it also helps the Space Science and Technology Laboratory, SSTL, of the university to develop interactive mechanism support by the use of internet and digital tools. This will be used for disseminating information to create interactive education content to optimize the learning process. The conference themed Establishing STEM Pipeline for Space Science and Satellite Technology in West Africa brought both local and international personnel who are well versed in science and satellite technology. Some students from some selected second cycle institutions in Koforidua, including Pope John SHS, Koforidua Senior High Technical, Koforidua Technical Institute, and Oyoko Methodist SHS participated in the conference. This was mainly to whip up their interest in space science and technology. Topics treated were the challenges of natural resource management and conservation in Africa through space science and technology, space-based investigation of environmental and climate change signals in West Africa, a research physical scientist of Goddard Space Flight Center, NASA, USA, Dr. Charles Ichoku, spoke about how land, building, and fire affect water cycles.
The fires emit carbon, black carbon, and other things that can affect the heating of the atmosphere, can affect the clouds that produce the rain, and how whether they suppress or they enhance rain. And what we've seen so far is that the burning can suppress rain.
The head of Department for Computer Science at KNUST, Professor Kwame Oseboateng, in an interview, spoke about how space science can get Ghana out of the economic doldrums.
Analysis showed that it is because of the way we monitor things, because of the way the data, our access to data, to be able to analyze results and see where we should go, which area we should put more emphasis on. These are not in existence, and it is one of the main reasons that experts have found to be the reason why we fail to meet the Millennium Development Goals.
A participating student from Pope John SHS and Minor Seminary, Master Patrick Bainey, shared his experience on the conference and how it has enlightened him to achieve his future dream of becoming a satellite engineer.
If not for this seminar, I wouldn't have known of Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute and other institutions that can help me become who I want.
The Dean of the School of Education and Leadership of the University of Ghana, Professor Jonathan Fletcher, has re-echoed the fact that there are unqualified tutors teaching in the country's colleges of education, producing deficient teachers. He emphasized that good education cannot be acquired without good teachers. Professor Fletcher was speaking at the congregation of the Accra College of Education.
For the 2015-2016 academic year, the Accra College of Education graduated 3 groups of students from 2 different diploma programs. These included 218 graduates for the regular 3-year diploma in basic education. Out of this, 6 obtained first class, 64 representing 29.36% had second class upper, 91 or 41.74% had second class lower division. 50 of the 218 graduates obtained third class and 7 had pass grades. The other 2 groups included a 2-year sandwich program for Certificate A teachers. 99 of the 2014 class made 4 or 4.04% being second class upper, 28 had second class lower, 47 had third class and 20 had pass. Out of the 81 graduates of the 2015 class, 4 had second class upper, 21 obtained second class lower, 42 had third class, while 14 had pass grades. The overall best student of all the public colleges of education in the country is Mr. Benjamin Amo of the Accra College of Education. The principal of the college, Mrs. Christina Bampo Hineku, encouraged the graduates to enroll for further studies and also take part in various training programs to upgrade their status. The guest speaker was Professor Jonathan Fletcher, Dean of the School of Education and Leadership of the University of Ghana. He said falling standards at the teacher training institutions in the country is the cause of poor performance at the WASI and BECE in recent times.
Teachers constitute the most important resource in education. Therefore, the quality of learning that takes place in any educational institution depends on the quality of teaching in our system. Teachers should be properly selected and prepared, but they must be appropriately placed after training and given orientation to function effectively as professional teachers.
The First Lady, Mrs. Lodina Mahama, and her Ivorian counterpart, Mrs. Dominique Ouattara, have presented some medical items to the General Hospital of Upongo in Abidjan. In a brief comment, Mrs. Lodina Mahama said there is the need to protect the less privileged in society.
The foundation has been supporting healthcare delivery and giving assistance especially to women and children in rural communities in Ghana. The foundation believes that no woman should die while giving birth, hence its effort to eliminate or reduce maternal and infant mortality.
With support from MidShare USA, the Lodina Foundation has supported hospitals with vital medical supplies and equipment to complement government's efforts in the delivery of quality health care. The Ghanaian and Ivorian First Ladies presented some medical items to the General Hospital of Ifugong in Abidjan. The items included wheelchairs, baby coats and carriers, ward partition stands, diapers, Ghana chocolate, Ghana rice, drinks and some clothing. Mrs. Lodina Mahama said the well-being of the vulnerable in society, especially women and children, should be of much importance to every government. She commended her colleague First Lady, Mrs. Ouattara, for her passion to bring hope to the less privileged.
As a mother, when it comes to children and their education and health, I am very passionate and concerned. We must give them all the care and attention to grow into responsible adults.
The First Lady of Côte d'Ivoire, Mrs. Dominique Ouattara, also commended Mrs. Mahama for her selfless service to humanity and urged her to continue her support for the vulnerable and the less privileged. The two First Ladies toured the maternity and pediatric wards of the hospital to interact with the children and women on admission.
The need for people to adopt a positive attitude towards the environment and keep their surroundings clean was reiterated on National Sanitation Day at Ewutu Senya. The Deputy Minister for Local Government, Mr. Emmanuel Ejekum, said the nation recorded a reduction in cholera cases this year due to a better sanitation practice. He added that without the needed support from citizens, efforts by the authorities to keep Ghana clean will be in vain.
Months since the National Sanitation Day was introduced to encourage all citizens to keep their surroundings clean. This initiative by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is a voluntary exercise on the first Saturday of every month to reduce insanitary conditions. After months of cleaning, reports from some hospitals have recorded a drastic fall in cholera and malaria cases. Latest records from the Ministry of Local Government say, as of June this year, there has not been any reported case of cholera, as against over 20,000 reported cases of cholera at the same time between 2014 and 2015. This achievement is attributed to vigorous campaigns by the ministry to promote better environmental sanitation. At Ewutu Senya in the central region, residents and some officials of the local government ministry cleaned up the whole community. Gutters were desilted and overgrown weeds were also cleared. The residents who participated in the exercise pledged to make the National Sanitation Day a priority in the community. The Ministry of Local Government says until there is a change in attitude and enforcement of bylaws, the campaign to keep the nation clean will be in vain.
I know the patronage is coming down. I know a lot of people are not coming out to work. But what I would say is I want to admonish all Ghanaian citizens of this country to come out and clean the environment. The reason being is, what have we achieved so far? We're in June this year, 2016. Nothing like cholera in Ghana. It means we've achieved a lot. If you do comparative analysis and look at last year, comparing last year to the previous years, we had few numbers of cholera. It means Sanitation Day is working. And I strongly believe that if we continue with this exercise, Ghana will be free.
The District Chief Executive of Ewutu Senya, Samson Ama, disclosed that the Ewutu district is fine-tuning its bylaws to make it more effective to deal with individuals who do not practice better environmental hygiene. At Malam, in the Greater Accra region, a similar exercise took place. The 3-hour exercise started from the Malam Tipa station through to the Malam Kaswa area. Malam is a flood-prone community, and the day was an opportunity for residents to desilt choked gutters and clogged sewages to prevent flooding when it rains.
A 16-year-old Nana Kwabena Boache is reported missing. The boy is said to have left home yesterday morning for extra classes and has since not returned. Nana Boache is a JHS 3 pupil of the University of Ghana Basic School, Legon. He was last seen in his uniform after the extra classes, heading towards home around 2 p.m. Several attempts by his family to reach him has proved futile. Nana is said to be reserved by nature and speaks English and Twi. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should contact the Legon police station or call his father, Mr. Francis Kwabena Boache, on 020-2040-177 or call telephone number 020-7338-457. In the first week of month 6 June, we remembered the victims of the twin disaster in Accra 1 year on. And on that same day, the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, took his bow off the world stage in Arizona in the United States. We recap some more news in pictures. We now take a breather. We are back. Don't go away shortly. Welcome back. We now bring you stories from the foreign front. South Sudan resumed talks with Sudan on Sunday on a raft of thorny issues, including borders and oil revenues still outstanding from its 2011 secession. The South Foreign Affairs, Defense, Interior and Oil Ministers traveled to Khartoum for the talks, the first since a unity government was formed in Juba last month in a bid to end its devastating civil war. South Sudan's oil production virtually ground to a halt during the civil war that erupted after the dismissal of Vice President Riek Machar in December 2013. Khartoum is hoping that Machar's return as vice president in a unity government last month will lead to renewed export through the pipeline to Port Sudan on its Red Sea coast and resumed transit fee payments. Now, Switzerland is voting on whether to introduce a guaranteed basic income for every citizen, becoming the first country to hold such a vote. The proposal calls for adults to be paid unconditionally monthly income, whether they work or not. Supporters of the idea say 21st century work is increasingly becoming automated, with fewer jobs available for workers, hence the law. We now bring you some sports stories. Ghana has qualified for next year's AFCON by beating their Mauritius counterparts to second-half goals after the AFCON Round 5 qualifying matches propelled Ghana to top Ground H with 13 points. The DIU scored the first goal for the Stars in the 71st minute. With a strike from close range, Christian Achidede, Ghana's second to raise the tally to 2 against Mauritius, who were playing at home. Black Stars deputy captain and Swansea City star Andre Dede Ayew is the SWAC Sport Personality of the Year. Dede Ayew was also adjudged the Footballer of the Year award at the 41st MTN SWAC Awards on Saturday night. The 27-year-old scooped both awards following his outstanding display for both club and country. He beat off stiff competition from Stars captain Asamoah, Queen's coach Yusuf Besigi, and Ashgold's coach Bashiru Hayford. For the Footballer of the Year prize, Ayew beat competition from fellow Black Stars teammates Asamoah and last year's winner Harrison Afo. Dunkwal Nursing Training College football team are winners of the Special Football Gala competition in Dunkwal on Ofin. They beat the Ghana Immigration Service team by 2-0 in the finals. They took away some souvenirs.
The Nana Oben Nwaku Park in Dunkwal on Ofin in the Upper Dintra East Municipality in the Central Region was the venue for the Special Football Gala competition. Teams that participated in the Gala competition included the Kuku Board, the Ghana Immigration Service Dunkwal Branch, Municipal Assembly, AMS, the Teachers Credit Union, Ghana Water Company, Amenfiman Rural Bank, Upper Amenfi Rural Bank, Dintraman Rural Bank, and Solar FM. The back-to-back action saw two teams, the Ghana Immigration Service Dunkwal Branch in the yellow and green jersey, and the Dunkwal Nursing Training College locking horns in the finals. Dunkwal Nursing Training College were impressive as they beat the Ghana Immigration Service side by 2-0 to carry the day. Here are some reactions from officials.
Our coach, our team, they all did so well, but things did not go on well. We just have to pray that next year we'll be able to put our axis in order, and let's see what will happen next year.
Two kings were presented to individuals and teams. Officials promise a bigger and better competition next time.
We'll take a quick breather. We are back with Entertainment Tuesday. Malams and Pastors is the latest play by Latif Abubakar. Muslims and Pastors will see Kumasi-based actor Kwejong Kansa, also known as Lil Wayne, acting live on stage for the first time. Latif was a guest on Showbiz on GBC24. We bring you highlights.
But this one to who call him?
Who call me? You don't like Messi? Okay. Father! I will not want them. You have a rebellious heart. Father is praying.
Why are you going to put Lil Wayne on stage? He's going to act live?
It's more of a freestyle kind of person, so it's not easy trying to put him to scripts. But what you have to do as a writer, you want to be able to manage these people on stage, even Funny Face, and then Lil Wayne on stage is actually to know their character, look out for their strengths and weaknesses, and you write the script around their strength.
Okay.
So what they are used to doing, you play around it, and it makes it a bit easy for you.
How did you come up with the name Malams and Pastors?
From the beginning of the year to now, there's this looking at the impact of Malams and Pastors in our society. And I have chosen to look at the negative impact of Malams and Pastors in our society, because we already know the positive side of Malams and Pastors. But the truth is that the few bad nuts actually was tarnishing the name of the good ones. And then we seek to educate people about some of the tricks of the trade, and then also to advise people on what to actually do.
Okay. Tell me, so far, how has production gone?
It's been excellent. It's been excellent, especially looking at the actors on board and what they bring on board. Wayne and Funny Face. It's so excellent. Every day you expect something new, and we keep laughing each time we react. So our audience shouldn't miss this.
Okay, so when we come, we are expected to be laughing throughout.
But
the Winkle Weather Report, brought to you by RMG Ghana Limited, with technical support from the Ghana Meteorological Agency.
Good evening, and you're watching the Weather Report segment of the evening news, proudly brought to you by RMG Ghana Limited. Few areas recorded rainfall over the past 24 hours, and over the next 24 hours we expect some slight variations. Let's look at the weather though in detail. From tonight till tomorrow morning, some partly cloudiness is expected over northern Ghana, with a cloudy atmosphere over the rest of the country. In terms of the weather, it's likely to be sunny and warm, with cases of isolated thunderstorms accompanied by some rainfall affecting all areas. Temperature-wise, a minimum of 26 degrees Celsius is likely to affect both northern Ghana and the coastal belt, with temperatures staying at 23 degrees Celsius over the middle belt. For the afternoon, it will still be cloudy over the entire country, but in terms of the weather, it will continue to be sunny and warm with cases of isolated thunderstorms accompanied by some rainfall still affecting all areas. In terms of temperature, though, it will rise to 35 degrees Celsius over the north, a range of between 33 and 31 over the middle belt, and 30 degrees Celsius over the coastal areas. And finally, for the case of humidity, it's likely to stay high across the entire country over the next 24 hours. Over the next 48 hours, it's likely to be sunny and warm over all areas, but here is the weather in detail. Do stay tuned. Keep watching the weather reports only on GTV. Do have a good night.
That's all in this package. Coming up next is Talking Points. Do stay and enjoy the rest of our program.